being on the other side.
Oh my gosh. First of all, we're live now. So happy
Oh,
New Year, Sister Girls. If you are in here
happy
watching,
New
please go get
Year.
something to drink. This is gonna be like a cool live with Lisa Marie and I because we definitely wanted to just like first of all, the world is heavy. That's number one. I feel like everything is just so it's heavy. It's like you feel hopeful in the one moment and then in the very next, it just feels like it's all about to blow up. So I was just like, let's do a live to kind of talk about just regular bookish stuff and then just talk about books, events, book topics, all of those other things. And then they can ask us some questions because I feel like they don't get a chance to ask us questions because we always ask other people questions. So this would be a cool time for people to ask us questions.
Please don't.
Kind of like vibe out because we don't get to often like talk just on some like book stuff either. It's really like group chat. Well, we won't be going deep into the group chat, but it'd be a lot of group chat stuff.
We, if I die,
We
please
came
delete.
on in the middle of a thought. I think
If,
exactly.
when I,
We came
when
on
I,
in the middle of a thought because we were already talking. I'm looking at the chat, the live. They're like,
when
yo,
I
y'all
die,
can chat.
please delete. Wipe the phone, please. Don't wipe wipe the group chat, please.
We
My
were
sister
already
already know. My sister already know. Wipe it, please.
delete the group chat right immediately.
Delete the group chat immediately.
So she said we came on in the middle of a thought because we were talking to each other. I'm sorry, we were talking to each other and we just like jumped on a live. That actually helped it feel a little more like less studious. So one, happy New Year, Lisa Marie. How are you doing? Like
Happy New Year, Sheree.
how do you
Uh,
like how's it going?
interesting.
No,
Interesting. I started the year sick. So did you. So did you. We will start the year sick.
you start this is
Um,
like
so I feel like it started really slow, and I'm the opposite. Like I am one of them people who, as soon as the new year start, I'm like, go, 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 go.
yeah.
I'm
And I
not
do
this,
the opposite. I started to slow into the year.
and so it forced me to start the year slow.
Hmm.
I don't know if I liked it or not yet. I know you always start the year slow. It's
Yeah.
always so interesting to see
I
how
used to do
different.
the opposite though. I used to do the opposite. I used to like when I was in my early 20s, I used to like really try to hit the ground running. I used to have everything planned, everything going, and it would work. But then what I noticed was like May, I would lose momentum. Like whatever it was, it would just be like I feel like I did 25,000 things and now
Mm-hmm.
I can't stop everything. So then I remember I don't know if I read this in a book or watched it on a video or something like that because I'm always trying to figure out how to make better life choices. And they were like,
Aren't
why
we
don't
all?
you just yeah, why don't you just ease into the new year? Like ease into certain things. So like what I would do is, and I tell this to people all the time, we're gonna start talking about book stuff in a little bit. But we do want to have like a real like conversation because it's just normal. We'll be here for a little bit. Um, I had like somebody said to like ease into the new year, how can you make the new year the easiest? So what I started to do was like in November and December of like 2025 or the prior year, I would do like all my doctor's appointments. Nobody's going to the doctor in November. Nobody's going to the dentist in December. Like nobody's
I
getting in.
do.
I
I
mean,
do.
most people, but I'm
But
like, they're
what's funny? The reason why I do is because my birthday is almost exactly to the date half the year.
Mhm.
And I always went to the dentist around my birthday. So the other half of the year, so like the other side of that is
Yeah.
somewhere last week of December. And I actually think that's why I start the year so strong. Is
Mhm.
because my birthday is almost exactly at the half point of the year, like almost down to the day, which is so it really for me is like you halfway through whatever age this is. What are you doing? and
Yeah.
that's why I always start the year so strong because I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like right now I'm almost 37. It's like you're halfway to 37. Where are you on those goals? What are you doing? Like you doing? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
it's
for
like
me, it's kind of like your birthday's at the end of the year, so it's like it's so much different, like how people's mindsets are
but
because
it's
your
weird
birthday.
because my birthday's at the end of the year, but it's annoying because as soon as the ball drops, it's like I'm turning another year already. So if y'all don't know, my birthday is 12/30. So like
Right.
once the ball drops, I'm literally turning another like it's the oddest thing ever. But yeah, like Shay said, the new year does start. Hey Shay, starts in April. So yeah, that's kind of like I don't know, that's kind of the vibe. But anyway,
It starts in
how
April. I thought it started in March when the spring solstice was.
Whatever. March, April. It ain't January.
It's like, some people are saying they're not starting their new year until February 17th, which is the Chinese New Year, and it's the
Yeah, yeah,
transfer over from the year of the snake to the year of the
yeah.
horse. So I've been reading a lot of different ways um
Getting into the new
people
year.
are embracing different cultural norms. And I
Hey,
love
Tasha. I'm gonna be saying hey to people. I hate when people go live and they just like random thought. You're in like a thought, and then somebody be like, "Hey, such and such." I'm like, "Dang, I just did that. I'm sorry."
it's okay because I can't see who's on, but hi
Oh
y'all.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, again, being on the other side is so
It
weird.
is on the side, and I don't like going live ever. Like I always feel like something. I guess because I live in New York City, so it's like random sounds that'll just come out, and I'm like, "Oh my god!" It'll be watched when I'm on live. Like I heard the plow machine just like it just stopped, and it'll probably start
No,
up again.
that's how it was last year when I was
Yours,
interviewing.
so we don't care.
I
All
was
right, so
interviewing Jade. I
go
was when Jade and Philly had just won the Super Bowl, and it was so loud, and we both were in Philly, and I
Mhm,
had to literally say in the beginning of our live that last February,
mhm,
like, or maybe it would they that was the no, it was in January, and they found out they was going to the Super Bowl. I don't know. The Eagles had just won a really big game,
uh-huh.
and both Jay and I are in Philly. And that's how we found out we were in Philly. I was like, oh my gosh, please ignore my background because people were literally losing it.
Yeah, and Philly is crazy. Once y'all win something, it's a wrap.
First of all, it's always people from New York talking about how crazy Philly is. Now, hold on, cousin. Hold
Yeah,
on.
yeah, y'all be well. I'm not going to say we don't go the extra route. What I'm saying is like when y'all are doing something that requires team spirit. Let's just say you get an A plus. Put it like that. You get
An
an A
A
plus for team
plus.
spirit.
Thank you. Thank
All right,
you.
so I wanted to talk about like let's jump into the book stuff.
Let's jump in.
What have you been? Have you been reading? Number one, because it's January 26th. What have you been reading? Number two, have you been enjoying the books? You don't have to name. Well, let's tell me what you have been enjoying if you read it.
I
The
haven't
genre.
read anything this year so far in the last 26 days that I have not enjoyed.
Okay, that's. I thought you said you ain't have read nothing. I'm like, yeah, you
No,
could tell me. You could say.
no, I have not read anything that I have not enjoyed. Now,
Okay,
on the scale of which I've enjoyed it is different, but everything I've read thus far, I've enjoyed, and I actually have a little list. So
tell us because we want to know. Tell us what you read and the genre, because a lot of people assume that we read the same genres. We do, but we
we
don't. Not
do,
the same
yeah, not at all. So first and foremost, I decided this year every month I'm going to pick a family saga to
Oh,
read,
I like that. I like that.
and kind of because I'm missing out on the family sagas because I'm trying to wait.
Hmm.
So right now I am reading the Graham Saga by Cami Holt, and it's so funny because I had read the second book or the third book first, not knowing it was a series, and I was like, "Who are these people?" And this was like last year. I read it, and I was like,
Hmm.
"Who are these people?" I think she had did a promo for it, and it was free, and I bought it and I read it, and I was like, "What? It's a lot of people in this book."
You know who else has like a like long and good sagas? Asia Monique, like her mob series. I like those her
So
series.
funny enough, she's on my list for books I'm anticipating this year, and it's
Okay.
not for them. It's for a spinoff of the Mob series. I didn't know it was a spinoff of the Mob series, but we'll get to that. But Cammy is funny, y'all. If y'all don't follow Cammy, even if y'all don't haven't read her book yet, Cammy is a
You know
hoot.
what's funny? I follow her, but I don't like. I follow her, but I only know her like just a little bit. So I've never seen her like personality all the way. Like I remember when she was like a book influencer. So like I remember like she would have like some dope. We would have like the same reading palette for a little bit, and that's how I remember. So when she turned over and started to write, I was like, oh snap! Like Shorty is doing it.
Yeah,
So
and Cammy is funny. Cammy is funny. She talked a lot about her personal life,
okay,
not a lot about her personal life, not like that, but she tells people things. But Cammy, her thing is calling everybody bald headed. So
that's
she be saying, if you want your hair to grow back, read my books.
that's
like
mad
she
funny.
like she sacred edge controls or like the edge drops or something. She like, if
Yeah,
you get already bald headed under your wig. I'm like, girl,
that is
clearly,
mad funny.
like it's so funny. I don't know why that's so funny to me. Like when I see her promo, I
That's like
always
an OD like dope marketing thing. You know, if you want your
yeah,
hair to come back
right.
after you use your sacred drops, read my book.
Read my book. It was like the other day she posted, like, she's like, you know, you bald under that wig. I was like, Cammy.
Oh, so Shay asked us, "What's your favorite genre? What's your favorite genre you read so far?" Why I ain't go to college and got knowledge and can't read.
Wait,
It's
are
small.
you a rapper? You a rapper? You dropping bars?
I'm always because I'm like, I see what she wrote, but I'm getting a little flustered. I told you when I know I'm live, it's very annoying. What's
You
your
go
favorite
first.
genre
Your favorite
so
genre?
far? So far this year, or like in life? I need her to clarify if she's still here.
All right, while she's clarifying that, I also have read Evelyn Latrice's The 19th Hole.
Okay, was that good?
I enjoyed it. It is
Some,
causing
yeah.
some
I seen
uproar.
like people like yeah, they having like back and forth. I said I was going to read the 19th hole, and I wanted to read. I'll tell you later what I want to read because it's
Okay.
starting like yeah. But I want to read the 19th hole because I've heard so many back and forth, like so much back and forth about it. Like people are 50-50.
I enjoyed it, but I enjoy this lane that Evelyn Latrice is making for herself.
Mm-hmm.
It's very
Expound.
expound. It's urban romance, but it's not. She is doing something really special, Evelyn
Mm-hmm.
Latrice, and I'm gonna give her her flowers. I gave her her flowers when we interviewed her for um one of the books in the Eighth World series, but I'm gonna expand and give her more flowers because what she is
Yeah.
doing is she is taking something negative and turning it on its head
Mm-hmm.
by giving by taking this group of what what you would usually see in urban fiction novels and
Mm-hmm.
giving them storylines that you don't often see instead of
Okay.
them being grounded in the grid, the urban environment and the things you normally see. They're elevating. So the
Mm-hmm.
19th hole, the main male character is a gangbanger and he
Okay.
is a golfer, and it's
Yeah.
like, in what world would you like, and you, that is not
And
something
that's
that you.
why I wanted to read it. I wanted to read it because he was a gangster golfer. Like I just felt like that
He's
was just
literally a
alone.
gang, like he's literally a gangster, and he is dealing with something really really heavy. If you haven't read it, I'm not going to reveal what that is, but he's dealing with something really heavy, that something very traumatic that happened to
Mhm.
him in his childhood, and that kind of is the purview of how he navigates life.
Oh, I like that. Velda, what up?
And
Shout out to
so,
Velda. She said she's reading it and she said it's great so far. She's 40% in. So
and Velda is an OG reader for y'all who don't know, because hey
yeah,
Velda,
Velda's my girl.
we love us Girls Book Club, okay? And Velda's an
Mhm,
OG reader. She's not a
mhm.
new reader. Cherie has this thing about OG readers versus new readers, but we're not going to get into that.
Ooh, I feel like OG, well,
Yeah,
I'll say it. I feel like OG readers, in my opinion, they kind of let an author grow and they let them build and they kind of like, let's just say like if it's a story, they'll have more of a nuance take sometimes. I feel like newer readers, not new readers in life. I'm talking about newer readers into the Black literary community. Like once they're new, every so many years we get we get a group of new readers that comes into the space, and I feel like when they're newer they give sometimes less of a chance, and it
that's what's
might
happening with this Evelyn Latrice book. So let me just tell you,
yeah,
that's exactly what's happening. It People are like, are upset because I saw it on TikTok, and Evelyn Latrice has responded to some of it, and some of it she's ignoring, which she should.
yeah,
Like, kudos to her, which she should. She's not feeding into it. She's not taking it too serious because she knows that she has something good. Like I said, she's taking a whole genre and she's turning it on its head. It started
yeah,
with the Eighth World series, in that group of family and found family and how they navigated new fame, new money,
mhm,
success, how they got there. And while this book, The 19th Hole, is not a part of the Eighth World series, he is introduced in one of those characters' books. Zaire is the main male
yeah,
character, is introduced in one of those books, but he is the same kind of theme, is that it is urban fiction in a way. Zaire's book, I would not consider it urban fiction, urban romance necessarily, because it takes place in the country.
okay,
And this is where I think we get into those weird boxes of like, what is this genre? Because he
mhm,
is clearly an urban character,
mhm,
but what happens is he has a bad game, and somebody who becomes his mentor is like, hey, you need to get out the limelight. And he's from LA, so
mhm,
LA, if you know how LA is, it's like
yeah,
you can't get out the limelight, so you have to
yeah,
leave
you
to
have
get
to
out the
actually leave,
limelight.
yeah,
So an older Black mentor kind of guides him and says, you have to leave. I have a place that you can go where nobody will find you. Go there. So the whole entire book, majority of it takes place in the country. but you have this very urban character in the countryside.
Yeah.
But
So what do you?
yeah,
So it's not an urban romance in your opinion. What is it to you? Is it like a regular black romance?
this particular one is hard because it has a lot of urban theme because he brings the urban.
Okay.
So
But
I would still put this in the urban category because he's so urban. You can't just bypass it.
when you say urban, you mean like unless the book is taking place in a city, that's how it gets the title of urban.
That's what urban is, and
I know. I mean, that's what I'm
I
saying.
think we
I'm
can't.
like,
I can't. This is one of my issues with genreing things. We are displacing things. Black is not urban, and urban is not black.
yeah, I know that part. But what I would say, the reason why I would say, based on what you're telling me about the book, I'm actually going to read it now. You've influenced me.
Period. I
I'm
didn't even have a
definitely
book
gonna read it. I need
influencer.
another, 'cause I've been reading a whole different genre. I haven't been in the genre for like in that.
Tell
For
everybody what you read.
hold on, but let me tell you, you need to talk about this urban thing. Because number one, let me be very clear about this: urban romance, urban literature, urban thriller, urban whatever. That genre is very special. That genre gets
Shitted
dookied on.
on.
I'm about to say you could curse. I was trying to be like a little more
Shitted
palatable.
on.
It gets done dirty a lot. And I'm just like, when you think about the book industry, especially the black literary space, when it comes to after that Wait Until Excel era, what and actually within the Wait Until Excel era, what genre was taking the world like our pushing the literary space forward? It was urban.
It was, and well, I mean, we talk about this all the time, but I guess we never spoke on it publicly. This is like more of I guess, a group chat conversation, and this is what I'll say, and I'll stand on this.
Yeah.
We would not have the independent black literacy we have now if it were not for urban fiction. Urban fiction laid the groundwork for us to have this beautiful, diverse corporaconia of reading diversity that we now have. Yeah. They were out here in the independent bookstores, at the independent fairs, like and now with the online thing, we all are connected. I remember when that girl went viral. Who hasn't read, Coldest Winter Ever? Who hasn't read True to the Game? And when you have millions and millions of people across the world, not the country, the world, all gathering to say, "Oh, who read Omar Tyree Fly Girl?" Like everybody read these books. It wasn't about the genre back then. It was like everybody read these books, and this was pre-internet. So that I think that is really unfair to do the genre that do it how you see it every week. Oh, I don't read urban fiction. I don't read. Okay, congratulations. Here's your cookie. Here's your cookie. There are enough other genres for you to read. I do proudly, loudly, every day.
All right, so now you got off your soapbox. I agree. Obviously, just because I've been a reader my whole life, I just posted a reel not too long ago of like me being at.
I know. I was trying to find a baby picture of myself. Lisa got my baby pictures,
and it was crazy because I jumped from like Judy Blume and Goosebumps and went straight into the Coldest Winter Ever. It was no like it was I never went back. Same. It was no, and it's crazy because a lot of people be like, "Oh, when did you like when they give their ages of when they read the Coldest Winter Ever?" Like they'll be like, "Oh, they were 17, 16." I was like,
I was 12.
I was like 12. Yeah, I was like 13.
I was in 6th or 7th grade, and I remember because my guy. So the first book I remember my guidance counselor was like, "You cannot read these books." And she knew what the books were because the first one I read was Yo-Yo Love by Diema S. Poole, another Philadelphia-based urban romance, and that's her cousin. And she was like, "You have no business reading this." Yeah. I
started reading that book by sheer accident. Let me tell you what happened. So my dad knew I liked to read, right? He was working, and I have an older sister, right? My older sister would be, if I was like 12, she was probably like 17, 18. She's very like old like that. So the gap is like that.
Not that old.
No, it's probably the gap is bigger than that. It's bigger. I just gave it like she was probably in her 20s when I was like 12. You know what I'm saying? It's like a gap.
She was an adult.
Yeah, she was an adult. So what happened was he went to work and he told his coworkers that I like to read. I think what happened was they thought that I was the older daughter because they recognized the
Oh,
coldest winter ever. My father bought me the coldest winter ever. He was like, "Here, my coworker said you were like you liked reading and stuff." And because think about the book cover, it looks very unassuming. It's just like the coldest winter ever. I don't
yeah.
even think he paid attention to like he saw Brooklyn Girl Winter. He saw all the things that he thought would be like, oh yeah, she could read this. I read that book in 2 nights as like a
Oh,
12. I was and when I tell you it was like
and
somebody
the
was
crazy
like,
part is coldest whatever it starts. It like this is I
he
guess
said I came out of my
my
mother's.
mom. I came
Yo,
busting out of my
that it
mama's.
came out too crazy. I was like, yo, and I remember letting my
Did
friends.
you
We
know?
had our
Wait,
own
did you
little
know what
ghetto
that
boys
meant?
club. Huh? Yeah, I knew. I'm from Brooklyn. I'm like, I had Little Kim's album. Like, it wasn't
Okay.
technically. I was even though I was 12 years old. I wasn't engaging in any activities. I was still a 12-year-old child watching Moesha, watching Living Single. However, comma, I was around older girls, like my
Yeah.
old family cousins. So I wasn't like this, you know, you
You
know.
knew some things.
Yeah, I knew some things, even though
Okay.
I wasn't participating in anything, but I just was like, I always was nosy. I was a nosy kid. So I
Yeah.
knew a lot for
All
no
my
reason.
cousins are older than me, so
Mhm.
I feel like I'm a only child, but all my cousins. So like my oldest cousin that I'm always with, she's 15 years older than me, and she
Mhm.
always joke like you could be my baby, but we're like besties. We hang out all the time. So
Imagine like listening on their conversations when they're on the phone or talking and stuff
right,
like
but that's how it
that.
was. And she was like,
Mad
it's so
stuff.
funny because I know all of their music. I know all like they
Mhm.
used to talk about their boyfriends in front of me because I was still their I was their cousin. So it
Mhm.
wasn't no if I was their cousin. So you know
Yeah.
now we get it. We have a good kiki.
Yeah.
She
So
like, could you date somebody that's 50? I sure could, baby. I hang out with you all the time.
yeah, I think that like I said, I went from like Goosebumps and like really cool age appropriate books to like shmeom, I took off. And my point in bringing that up was that that was it shaped, my reading palette. And also in school I was reading Maya Angelou and stuff. I had a good balance for me. I think a lot of times people say they didn't have a they didn't have a good balance because in school, Black literature wasn't introduced to them early. It was introduced to me early because I went to a private school. So, and it was a
Same.
Black Christian's private school. We've always had this conversation. So I had to memorize Maya Angelou poems. I had to memorize Langston Hughes poems. I had to read, Black literature. That was a part of my actual lived life experience. I didn't just get introduced to Black studies when I got to college. So I think that was the thing. And so for hobbies, I was able to read whatever I wanted. So that was like the balance. So I just think that when it comes to urban literature, I think people don't realize the timeline of events, right? Like just what was put on the map first. Um, and it's unfortunate because it's always the same conversation every 2 to 3 business days.
For me, what I love about urban fiction was it was us telling our stories in an unbounded way.
Mhm,
Like I said, for Daima S. Poole, her character went to Temple.
mhm,
As a North Philly girl, I rode past Temple on my way to my private school all the
mhm.
time. So to see characters that like, oh, that
Yeah,
reflect back something like, oh, my cousins went to Westchester. They were in college at the time. They went to Westchester. So it was like, Philly is like 10 to 20 universities inside of Philly. And then right outside, we have like hundreds. And it's
yeah.
like, oh, so I knew what college life was like from them. And then I'm also reading about it from this perspective of this girl who's from Philly, who's going to South Street, who knows what Max's cheesesteaks are. Like, she's like, I'm going to get a Max's
They
cheesesteak.
said, was that me and my boyfriend?
No, that was Yo Yo Love.
Okay. But yeah, and that's kind of how basically if you read the coldest winter ever, like that's a Brooklyn tale. So it was like
Yeah.
you saw and most of the books when I read in school, they were all Southern. Like, when you read all those classic Black literaries, like they're all in the South. So the representation of me and my life or my city or what reflected what I'm doing with my friends, they were all urban literature. Um
What would you say are the classics? So you have like Coldest Winter Ever, Be More.
it's one classic I ain't naming, but it's a
I know,
classic.
I know,
The
I
coldest
know.
winter ever, I would say True to the Game. I
Go
would
to the game.
say goes with up choose the game.
Be more
Oh,
careful.
Love with a Hustler's Wife. Be more, of course, be more careful, definitely. Is it called a Hustler's Wife?
Yes, I know what you're talking
Yeah, a
about.
Hustler's Wife. I would say a Hustler's Wife. I would say is the book called Shiesty? Because I don't know. Because I remember one part of the book is called Still Shiesty. I can't remember. I don't
I
know. It's
like
a lot.
it's a lot of them, and it's so crazy. Riding dirty on I-95. That was my John.
Oh my god, what's the
Oh,
other one? It's one with these brothers. Oh, dang, I can't even remember the names of them.
you know, my favorite, one of my favorite ones that I never hear mentioned.
In Love with a
Imagine
Thug,
this.
it's something like that.
Imagine, is it Imagine That or Imagine This? Anyway, anyway,
So the
back
book
to the.
that, yeah, so back to the
I
book
don't
that we
know.
read.
So I don't know. Okay, so based on what I told you, this is what my issue is. It does
We
not.
talk,
So
people that have joined us, we're talking about the what is called the 19th hole.
the 19th Hole by Evelyn Latrice. Would it be
Okay.
considered an urban fiction romance? Would it be considered urban romance?
Yeah.
Because here's my dilemma. Majority of the book takes place in the countryside at
Mm-hmm.
the golf course,
Mm-hmm.
but a lot of like because the main character is so urban, I
Mm-hmm.
cannot ignore the urban flair that he brings to the countryside.
Yeah.
And they're not really like her, the main female character. While it does take place in the country, she don't give me country for real. Like she's not very country acting. Like I don't
Well,
know.
what I'm trying to say, so like there are okay, and maybe this is where we draw the difference, or I don't know how to say this better. If you are hood in the country, that's not urban. Well, it's not. You know what it is?
No,
It's
because
because urban is a city environment. So when I think
yeah.
urban, what would it be? Country hood, hood
So
country, hood
because
country love.
okay,
Like
because I don't know because for instance, I had this conversation with Dandridge Monroe.
mm-hmm.
She has her series, Red Roses and Regrets. It takes place in the countryside, but the guy is so he is it's a hour or so away from Atlanta, but Atlanta is not in Atlanta. It's in the country, and she makes it clear that it's in the country, and it's like this is not a urban romance. He just has an urban persona. What people like to decide as an urban persona, but he's a country boy. The main character in that Slugs. What is his real name? His nickname is Slugs in the book. But I talked about this with Dandridge Monroe when I talked to her about that series. I say that because she specifically says that this book is not taking place in Atlanta. She does not want you to confuse it. So I don't know. It's like this in between place. But people naturally. My point is that people naturally genre those books as urban fiction.
Okay. So what other books are you reading after you read the 19th one? So okay,
Oh,
so everybody read the
so
19th.
then I did read something that was urban fiction.
Okay.
So I read Love for Side by Natavia.
Okay.
Natavia brings a lot of urban. Like it's very
Okay.
gritty. If you're not comfortable with like you actually from the see the production,
Okay.
don't read it.
Okay. That's it, or something else.
Currently
Read
reading.
fast.
I read real fast.
Yeah.
Currently reading Casey Mills' new book. I don't want to mess up the title because I keep calling it something else, but I'm so sorry, Casey Mills. I love you so bad. She know I love her real bad.
It's not funny. Because one thing I'm gonna do is call a book by a character name.
That's what I almost just did. Tempting Chaos is Tempting Chaos. So I read I read this new author that I found on TikTok. This was her debut release called Casuals Everything Around Me by Roxanne Taylor. I think y'all would like that if you like urban fiction. That also was urban fiction that takes place actually in Atlanta. And then I'm going like book 6 of the Grams in the 7 books. I'm like 6, like I'm on 6 and like 6.5. So I've read like 8 books in 3 weeks.
Like, girl, yeah, Shay, it's Roxanne Taylor. Shay said it was good. Girl,
you liked it. It was her debut novel. I feel like she did such a good job. I love debut novels. Debut novels are my favorite.
Yeah, I do. I like do I like debut novels? I'm trying to think.
I like debut
I
novels.
like
Like
debut. I like debut series.
so, I like
I don't think
any
it's. I
debut.
don't really care about debut. If it's debut, I'm like, I guess I'm excited because if I've never read if I had no idea, then obviously.
I love debut novels because I feel like that's when authors aren't scared to go all the way in, and I like
Yeah,
that.
that's true. That's true. That's
It's
true.
no
That's
like it's nobody pressuring you yet, telling you
true.
what you should be right. So it's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
this your raw is thoughts like this, and they're not scared to be detail oriented. Like
yeah.
nobody's telling them, baby, I love a good debut novel.
I like learning about new authors, regardless of if they're like debut author or just
Oh, me
like,
too. Me
yeah.
too.
'Cause I like to read like, because the thing is, once you read an author or a writer or whoever, like, there's other things, but they have a specific. It takes a while for them to not transform, but like, um, I feel like sometimes once they feel like they're in a good space, whatever that space is, whatever, if it's like a lovers to friends to lovers or whatever the case is, they'll stay in that lane, which
Yeah.
is the stories to be good. But then when the character author is new, I feel like they're still trying to develop whatever it is, so they're going all over the place. So it's like it could be urban, it could be black Rome, it could go, they just scatter all over, and I appreciate that, and I know like people like the comfort of knowing that okay, if this
You like
author,
authors with range.
yeah, I didn't want to OD say range, but I
That's what
do
it
feel like
is.
you can have range within the trope or whatever you really like to write about. But I also feel like it's not just range, it's also like the ability to think outside of the box within a trope. Like
That
within the
oh yeah,
trope.
now that's my favorite. I
Yeah.
love that's why I say like not to go back on, but I like that Evelyn of the Trees is kind of turning this whole thing on its head. Like I
Yeah.
kind of that's what keeps drawing me back to reading. And it's not that I don't like her writing series because she took a break in between
Hmm.
Tangled Hearts. I already told you. That book had me ready to fight. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't gonna lie. That book, Evelyn, I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
call you, girl, because that book had my blood pressure sky high.
And there's certain people whose writing style I just genuinely appreciate. Like I appreciate that they, and you can tell. Okay, this is where we're gonna get technical. You can
Okay.
tell a writer who tells a good story, who's a great
Mhm.
storyteller, and then a writer who writes well and can tell a good story. For
Yes, I
instance,
wholeheartedly
for
agree.
example, I can give you an example.
Yes.
A writer who knows how to write,
Hmm.
meaning like they have like a buttery like flow about them,
Hmm.
and then they can tell a good story on top of that. That
Yeah.
to me is the and be
That,
detailed too, the trifecta that I need in life,
yeah.
and I will stick beside you. Okay.
Whole
Um,
in.
so I think that, and this is my opinion, I think that I have to go back. I think that Nia Forrester can write
That's the
well.
same person I
She
was
can
thinking
tell
of.
a great
That is
story.
the same
She
person.
can write well, extremely well, and tell a
That
great
is
story.
crazy. That is literally the name that I swear to
That was
God.
the first name I thought of.
We did not talk about this beforehand, but that is
We didn't have
literally
a conversation about that. We don't even have like the same.
taste and reading.
I'm gonna just shout out people that the people said, somebody said JL Seegers. No, Shay said JL Seegers. Shay said Nia Forrester.
Yeah.
Um he also said Alana said Alana, is it Alan Shay? I don't want to mess up the name. She said Ray Lee's. I like Ray Lee's.
We like release.
We're
Yeah.
on the same page. That's funny. They said we're on the same page.
Yeah.
But yeah, that to me, and that's different for everybody because somebody could say this means that to the like the definition I gave of a good
Right.
writer, and I'll read their book and I'm just like, yeah, that's not exactly what I meant, but I'm glad that you had that.
I knew Nia Forrester. Not I knew she was a good writer, but
I'm gonna tell you how once you
when
finish.
it clicked for when it clicked for me is when she wrote the Wife series,
Mhm.
and she took one of her most hated characters because I don't want to go too into detail, but
I mean, it's an old class.
yeah,
Like,
it's an old series. If you haven't read it yet, I'm sorry, go read it. It's still good. When she took because the main female character in that series is the woman who the rapper in the Commitment series cheated with. And it was like, how you make me like her?
mhm.
Oh, you wrote this real
Yeah.
good. Then you wrote this real good
And
because
that's what I like. Something that it's not necessarily about. just like, oh, is the story good? But it's like how you can flip somebody's mind or how you can make them like a character 1 minute and then make them reconsider. Like, okay, why would you like why all of a sudden is it somebody said RB Penn? Um, make them reconsider their choice about who their fave is and who their fave isn't. Cause like for me, and I will say this, when I remember reading it Takira Allen does that really well. She makes you reconsider a lot. And I think for me, that's always a good thing when I'm reading because I'm very cemented sometimes. I'll be like, oh, this is who I like and it's who I'm rooting for. Then you like, wait, hold up. Is this really how this is gonna like go? I know you was gonna probably bring up to Takira Allen, but I'll bring her up first. But I just feel like she's
I wasn't gonna break up Secure for once because
yeah, I know because you just like everybody know that she's like your one of your favorite, like I would say top shelf
yeah,
author.
Secure Island, Nia Forster is like in my top 5 for sure. Like I love Nia down bad.
Yeah,
Like
and so I think that's when I think about storytellers and storytelling, I always think about that, like how they're able to shape shift the character, or how they're able to make us hate a character even more, how they're able to make us say like, dang, like even when you think
you
of
know
TV.
who else
Yeah.
made so one person I have to give the crown to this one person. I never thought I could hate a character and the person knows that I hate this character. Like I really like hate this character so bad. Like he pisses me off.
Ooh.
Nas from Nako's Underworld series.
Oh
And
wow.
I hate him so bad. Like me and Nako have talked about this ad nauseum. I am so I am so mad at myself that I hate a fictional character this bad. But when I hate him how I hate Ghost from Power. Like those are two.
Yeah.
I hate him how I hate Jamie St. Patrick. Like I hate Nas. I text her like a full like like I hate him so bad. Like if I saw him, I would spit on him. And my grandmother told me that's the worst, most disrespectful thing you could ever do to somebody. That is, I would spit like, and I had to check myself because, girl, this is not a real character. Are you okay?
Are
Are
you
you
okay?
okay?
We're gonna go down that route of like how real characters have now transformed into like the 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 real world. I would say like we've been
I don't
able
want
to.
to do it. I don't want to do it.
I don't, well, I have a different opinion. You know my opinion a little bit about it. But okay,
I
so I'll talk about the books that I've read. So now that y'all know that, I feel like everybody's gonna leave because we just opened up a Pandora's box, and I'm about to like literally jump genres. She said you hate him, but do you? LOL.
oh
um,
hate
they
him
said, yeah,
because we
they
can
said
discuss it.
Avant Porter. I thought you were gonna say
No, because you know what? Vaughn did basic Philly. I'm from Philly, y'all. Like
mhm.
I'm from Philly. Nothing about the Porter Boys surprised me. I'm so sorry. I know that was shocking for some of y'all to read.
Mhm.
Nothing about Avant Porter surprised me because that was some real Philly nigga shit. Okay, I apologize. I'm not condoning it. I'm just saying. I could tell y'all some. I could tell y'all some stories.
So the people I have been reading have not been in romance or urban romance. They've been look, I feel like we get to calm down a little bit. We get to take like a little light. I'm gonna just keep it very like cool. So I read Keeper of Lost Children by Sadika Johnson. It comes out February 10th. That book is phenomenal. It is historical fiction. I interviewed her, so that'll be our first podcast interview of the new year. It'll be dropping this week. Sadika Johnson has written Yellow Wife. That book is crazy. Like it'll make you cry. And she read The House of Eve. I mean, she wrote The House of Eve. That book
You know
phenomenal.
what? And for me, no matter how well those books are written, that is just not how I want to spend my independent time. And
I
that
know.
is
I never said it was
it's
like that's why I said
no, no,
we're so
no.
different.
It's just so interesting because there's no shame because I have like one of my closest friends. I actually don't discuss books with people because people be expecting when they like, oh, you love to read, you have a book club and you interview authors. Those are the authors. I'm like, my girlfriend interviews those authors. Please don't go on YouTube and watch my interviews because it gets it's I read.
But I don't think it's bad though. I think that because the thing is, I read those books, but then I'll read. I have, I think I have a good palette. I just started reading historical fiction for real, because like I
I just
think Sadika
as an
Johnson.
adult I don't anymore.
Oh wow. Yeah, I just started because I feel like I was not made to read it in school, but like in school, it was more like that was the type of fiction that you had to read if you wanted to read Black literature. It was always going to
You
be like
know,
historical fiction or like some type
most
of.
of my 20s, I was in college,
Mhm,
and then I had started my master's program.
mhm,
I'm not doing that right now, but I was in it, and so
mhm,
I had to like my schoolwork. So all of my schoolwork was reading school stuff. So I was
mhm.
like, in my spare time, I'm reading what I truly enjoy.
Yeah, but this is what I the thing about the now this is what I'll say, and I know people are gonna like have a really big difference of opinion. I think historical fiction writers, there is something to be said about how they write. Like Sadika Johnson, and they're not using big words, they're not being fancy. They're doing
It's
it's
amazing.
it's really good. It's really good. So
I'm
I
gonna give
was
it a try.
read
I'm gonna challenge myself. Give me one book, and I will challenge myself to try it.
I would say read. I'm gonna tell you which one that you should try. But Keeper of Lost Children is basically about it's three. You're gonna get 3 points of view, and that's what she's really good at doing. It. She's really good at giving you 3 points of view from different characters, but they're all following the same story. And
Okay.
then she's good at because I know when I read different points of view, it annoys me because I'll always be more interested in one character over the other one. So it's like I'm reading, like hurrying up to read just to get to the character that I want to read to get back to. But and what
I feel
Sadiq
like
yeah, what Sadika Johnson does is you're interested in every character equally, right? So it's about Black orphan. It's crazy. Like the story is you have one character named Ozzy Phillips. He volunteers to go into the military. It's desegregated right now. And then you have Ethel. She's the wife of somebody who's in the military, but she's in Germany, I believe. I feel like she's in Germany. And Ozzy's about to go to
Black
Germany.
in Germany.
Sophia Clark, she is desegregating a private high school, but she comes from poverty. And like their stories are all interesting because this is all about what happens when you become an orphan in across in Germany because at this time it's historical fiction is based on some part of a true story. So the
Right.
true story in this is that after World War II or during World War II, you had all these Black military men in Germany, in China, and they were having babies by
Yes.
Germans and by Chinese people. And what would happen is because racism is still alive and well, these kids would end up being orphans because they wouldn't be accepted in their community, like the moms. They wouldn't be accepted in the communities because they weren't married, and then also because they had these kids that looked Black. So they will all be put into orphanages or they would just be left
So
to whatever.
moms would abandon them.
Huh?
The moms would abandon them at the orphanages.
They would leave them because the thing is they couldn't feed them. They wouldn't be able to get jobs. They wouldn't be able to do anything because they were not married. And on top of that, they
See?
had these kids.
I
So
don't know.
it basically follows the story.
No.
It's not a sad story. It's
Okay.
actually really good. Like that's the part that I like when it comes to historical fiction because you could zone in on what part you want to do. What part do you want to focus on? So you have a love story in there. You have a story of like family ties, and then you have a story of like what does it mean to be part of a Black family. So that's read the book, okay? Read the daggone book. It's gonna be good.
Give it to
I
see what.
her. So watch the interview when it comes out to dive deeper into it. And then the next book that I read this in 2025, kind of telling Tahiri Jones Ken. That this book comes out when does it come out? It comes out February 24th. And so if y'all want to do like Black History Month reads, I feel like these are like all those. And Ken, first of all, the Harry Jones.
Who wants to do a Black History Month read with Cherie? Raise your
Yeah, I
hand.
feel like you should. First of all, this Tahiri Jones can. Now, this is what I'll say about her.
Okay.
She writes and she reminds me of like the classic writers, like the classic Black like James Baldwin. She writes, and I know people like, oh, you're about to. When I think about her writing, that's who she puts me into mind frame of like all of the classical writers who, when you read their work, you're like, damn, I've never been to the South, but she's talking about two friends. The book is about two friends who grew up in the South in poverty, and they don't know their family. They don't know their moms. Their moms basically abandoned them. So they grew up in poverty, but they literally break off into two groups. Like one goes away to start college and one goes and does something totally different. So it's like, how do you see when like two best friends get split and they were friends since babies? And what they shared was that one mom left her when she like was born, and the other mom, she died. So they don't have moms
Mhm.
and they don't have dads. But it's interesting to see how their lives are so different. Like, you know, and it reminds you of like when you went away to college or when you got a new job and like the person that you were close with didn't. And you could see how like your
My
lives,
my
yeah.
life was like because I had neighborhood friends and they all went to school together and I went to
Mhm.
private school, so I would only see them on the weekends.
Yeah.
So I
So
never
it changed it drastic, and you can come
it
from
did. It changed everything. Them girls
they
every day
were in poverty, and like
up
she
until I
goes
was six.
off to Atlanta, and she goes to a black HBC at HBCU. She goes to is it Spelman? Yeah, she goes to Spelman.
Oh.
And then oh, it's called Ken. I'm sorry, it's called Ken. Ken by Terry Jones. It's not out yet. It comes out February. It comes out February 24th. Now, the great thing about being a book club person is that they'll send you books early, and that
I,
was an early
why
release.
don't I ever get ARC for urban fiction, urban romance, dark
Because I
romance?
don't
Like,
think that you put it out there that you want it. I feel like people would send
you
you
know
books.
what? I'm about to really become a book influencer. I keep seeing book influencers, and my best friend texted me and was like, "Why come you don't do this?" And I was like, "I don't know." And she was like, "But you already kind of do it." And I was like, "You're right." And she
Yeah,
was like, "I think you should do it." And I was like, "You know why? I don't think people would like my opinions."
I think everybody's opinions are they hold weight. So like Ken for me,
No, I don't think people would like my opinions.
I just said everybody opinions hold some type of weight. Now I didn't say it was going to be good weight. I just said it.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
I
Thank
think
you.
the thing about having a strong opinion that you don't move from, at least people know that you have a real angle. I think a lot of times when I see book reviews and like what you should read, I don't know why I should read them in your opinion. I'll see like books, some content creators and stuff, they'll put like 25 sheets of books, and it's like, okay, you got black romance, urban romance, historical fiction. Which one do you like? Like what is the reason why like the reason why she said to read 10 is because if you like a story about two best
Two
friends and how to
friends.
see two attractions like go
Um,
split, if you like to see about love and
you
like two
know,
girls, what what do you think
this is
about
this is interesting because people really like Tracy Brown's book, and I'm bringing this up because it sounds similar to that.
Mhm.
I think it was called Harlem, but it's about two sisters, and and they're raised the same, but they go two different routes, and then
Mhm.
they have two sons. So
Mhm.
and they repeat the cycle. So it sounds kind of like that. So I might give this a try because
I think you should give it a try. And then look at the writing. I've never been to the South, like in that part. Farthest I went to it was to Atlanta, that I actually stayed and was participating in culture and like not just being there for a little bit. Because like I've been to Dallas, but I haven't been there like more than a week.
but
But
see,
like
is
I've
that
lived there.
country?
It's country, but it's not. It's historical fiction, so it's taking place in the 19 I would
Right.
say the 60s, 50s, 60s, something like that. But
Okay.
the thing that I like about it, she's very descriptive in a way that I can hear the characters in my head. So like when she's talking about one of the friends, the grandmother, I can literally, because first of all, I have a great imagination, number one. I can literally hear the southern
It,
accent. I can do all of that, the drawl, just certain nuances. I'm able to read it in that way and appreciate it. And plus, she's a phenomenal writer. That's number one. Number two, she gives you a very distinct feel of like what it feels like to not have a mother in a different way. Because remember, one mother dies
my mother gives her up.
and one mother gives her up. That's two very different points of view when it comes to losing a mom. And
Right.
even how they like kind of you see the jealousy amongst each other when they're by themselves thinking about how the other one, well, if your mom could just come back, you can pray for her to come back. But the other girl is like, the reason why people adore you is because they feel like you're an orphan because your mom died. That's
Right.
two different,
So
you
you
know what I mean?
so you getting the sympathy.
You getting the sympathy. So it's like it's a different, and you see how they're like they think about each other and then
That
how they go into the world
is
of like being orphans in that time period, but also one chasing education and one chasing like just trying to find my mom like at all costs. And so I think, and you see them come up against a lot of stuff like sex, boyfriends, life, hierarchy, like because remember she goes away to Spelman, so now you know you sitting with money, like you know what I mean. So it's just interesting. What is it, what's the name of the book you were talking about before, Ken? What was the book I was talking about before, Ken?
before Ken, you were
Oh,
talking.
Keeper of Lost Souls. It's called Keeper of Lost Souls by Sadiqa Johnson. And that comes out, that's so bad because I keep on saying that
February.
comes out. It comes out February
Second or fourth?
February no, February 10th.
Oh, I'm making shit up.
And then King comes out February 24th. These are all next
Oh,
month books.
that's where I
Coming
get.
out.
That's where I got 2 and 4
All right,
from.
but this book, the next book that I read is called If I Ruled the World. Y'all probably been hearing about this book for a minute now.
I've been hearing about this book all over the internet.
Yeah, it's by Amy Dubois Barnett, and it comes out this week. Actually, it comes out tomorrow. How about that? So now
Oh,
y'all got a tomorrow book. Now this book takes place in the 90s. Homegirl, I don't know if y'all gonna like her because I don't really like the main character, but whatever. I'm like in the
you
middle of the
know what?
book.
I don't mind reading about characters that I don't like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. The book, the story is still developing to me. I haven't made up my mind on whether I like the story or not in general, but she's a character who's very like, for her to be from New York City, she's very, very, very dumb. And that's just my take on it. And it takes place in 1989. Her name is Nikki, and she first starts as an intern at a black is it a black magazine? No, not a black, yeah, it's a black magazine. Then she gets let go because some stuff, and then she gets hired at like a white, like think about Vogue getting hired at Vogue, but in 1999. So they're mad racist and stuff like that. So she's the only black girl there. And then she gets another job to work at to become a black editor of a to be a black editor at like a black
99
magazine.
considered historical fiction now.
That's what I said. I was like, is this considered historical fiction? 1999.
1999 is historical fiction.
1999 is crazy.
That is
Because I'm like,
insane.
and after the same time, I'm like, is this technically considered historical fiction? But it's not. It's considered like city life fiction,
Okay.
women's fiction. I
Because
think it might be like
1999 is considered historical fiction. Take me out. I'm historical. I'm historic. Like
yeah,
what?
it's in the middle. But she is very, very dumb. I don't care what nobody. And it's a few things that might it's a few red flags for me.
She is very, very
One,
dumb. And we are
she is
committed to.
very dumb. And then also it's like colorism. Oh God, it was like the colorism in this book is
You
it's
said
it's her.
1999.
Because one thing about it is that what I noticed in reading this book so far, and like I said, this is not about the author, this is about the story itself. That's another thing. I hope you understand when I say I don't like something, I'm not talking about the author and whatever. I'm talking about fictional situations like in the book.
Like how I
So
hate now.
yeah. But like the colorism is crazy because in the book, this girl is biracial, but she refers to herself as black. But people see her as biracial. So that is like a situation in itself. So it's like how she even got her job at working at like this prestigious white fashion magazine is kind of like, girl, the reason why they took you in is probably because how you look too. And I don't think she knows that
I
yet.
don't.
I don't know if
I
she
don't have.
knows. Yeah, I don't know if she knows it, but the thing about it is it's pretty cool, I guess, like 1999, whatever. Like, I'm still in the middle of it. Like, I haven't decided like whether I would recommend this book to anybody. I think it's a good, well, I think it's a good story.
I see. I've seen it all up and down my timeline.
Yeah, I think the story is good because it gives you very much not nostalgic feeling. However, you don't realize that it's only nostalgic for people older than us because in 1999 we were like young. So like their take on 1999, these are adults in 1999. We weren't adults in 1999. So that's the difference because everybody kept on saying it's nostalgic, it's nostalgic. I'm like, babe, I wasn't working in 1999. Like that wasn't my life. So I think that's what it is. I think if you're like,
I
what is
was
it?
in fifth grade in
That's
1999.
what I'm saying. So when they say it nostalgic, I'm like, no, it's not nostalgic in that way for us. Like when you think of like fifth grade, you thinking of like Moesha, that's nostalgic. We thinking of like being in the house, maybe watching 106 in Park. So the nostalgia is a little bit for the older, a little bit older, but you can still make connections and stuff because like,
Because you were still there.
yeah, you were still there. It's like, so it's not just
Tommy Hilfiger.
yeah, so it's
Okay.
not a disconnect. It's not a disconnect at all. Like, so
I
it's really
had my
you can
polo
read
jacket
it.
in 1999. I had a cute bright blue polo jacket with a red horse on it.
Yeah, like
My polo,
Nautica, all of that other stuff. So like you can see her now getting into I'm up to the part where like she's there now and she's trying to give like her take and her spin on how to save like a white magazine using black people because that's what they want. They realize that black people can sell when in the beginning they didn't think that black women could sell, and now that the magazine is in trouble, they want her to kind of help save this white magazine.
baby,
So like
already. I'm exhausted. I'm so tired.
But no, but that's just this is the very beginning of it. And then it goes into her. Remember, she leaves and she's gonna end up eventually working at a black magazine. Sugar. It's called Sugar. And
Hmm.
Sugar needs to pick me up. So you're gonna see like the transition of what that looks like. So that's why I feel like it's still a good story. I just haven't finished the book yet. So I think I'll be finished probably like maybe tomorrow or the day after. And then I'll be like, okay, you should read this book or you won't hear me say anything else about this book.
Got it. Understood.
But I think it's a right now. I think the story is moving really good. I just don't really like the character. Like the main characters irritate me. But it's not that the story is bad. I feel like people can read it and they would enjoy it up until where I'm at. And then we can see once I finish. But she's annoying. She's just because I just feel like she shouldn't be this dingy. But then I'm like, a lot of 20-year-olds are.
Really
I was
silly.
thinking so Shay. She said, "Is it autobiographical?" No, it's not because the thing is, Amy's actual life. The author, she worked as an editor. So it's like at a magazine, like at predominantly white. She has a long list of like working in entertainment and in editorial space and stuff like that. Even in black space, like she worked. She was an editor at Honey. I think she did a stint at Essence. So she has a long history of just working in editorial spaces. And I think I feel like it could probably be a little bit autobiographical, or maybe it's not really like a memoir because it is all fictional. But I do feel like she's taken a lot from her world because it's the detail in certain things is like you have had to been there to understand it in this type of way. You know what I mean?
If y'all want to read it that takes place in a magazine, let me know because I got something for everything.
Yes, I'm just saying it's a good book. Did you hear that? That's a slow blower. And that's why I said New York is so like unpredictable.
But it's fine.
Bad unpredictable.
It's fine.
But anyway, so what's next on the docket? Now that we told y'all what we read, we've been reading. And I'm about to start. No, so back to what I'm going to read, like making my way back to
Okay.
romance. A Blossom's book. She's a new to me author. She's not a new author, but A Blossom, her latest book. What is the name of the latest book? Jesus. It has a purple cover. Is it a purple cover or a green cover?
It's
Pretty
perfect.
little birds. Pretty little birds. Pretty little birds. Hey guys. And she's including people because it's about first of all, have anybody read
Why would you say it like that? And she's including people.
it's inclusive. I'm inclusive.
You
I
meant
told
to
you my
say it like
words to
that.
my
Like,
ideas
why
for
would
my
you say
Timberland.
that? And she's including
No,
people.
it's inclusive.
That's
I
what you
like when I
said,
read
though.
books
That's how
that
you said.
people
I
are
know what
like,
you meant.
it's inclusive. I'm sorry, I'm fumbling my words a little bit. This is why I don't like live because I would have been able to just edit this out.
This is
Um,
hilarious.
'Cause I'm
We need
trying to look at
we
different
need to do
tabs
this more
at the
often.
same, huh?
We need to do this more often.
Yeah. And I didn't have anything to drink. I'm sober. It's just that sometimes I fumble my words because I'm trying to like I have like 10 tabs open. And I just pulled up the book. But the main character has lupus, I believe. Is she has lupus? Yeah. And then she's in a wheelchair.
Hmm.
So I think that's why I said it's inclusive. I like to read about people who are able to experience love and they are like in
The last
different situations.
the last
Uh,
inclusive book I read was Tay Monet's "Hear My Heart." I think is the name of it. The
mhm,
girl the girl was deaf, and
mhm.
the main male character learned sign language so he could talk to
That's so
her.
sweet. That's what I'm
I
saying. Like, I like
I'll
stuff like
tell you
that.
guys what the twist in that book is, but yeah, that was the last. I love a good inclusive. I love a good inclusive read. I keep seeing about somebody wrote a book. I don't know. I keep seeing it. I have a sample downloaded. I do not want to mess this up. The main character has Tourette's. If y'all know what book I'm talking about, please put it in the chat because, or I'm gonna try to find like I have the sample. I do this thing where I'll download 100 samples and then I'll just.
Mhm,
But I saw somebody talk about it. The main character has Tourette's, and I was
mhm.
like, wow, like I never thought I would see that in the book. But
Yeah,
yeah, I
that's
want to.
interesting. Yeah. I would like to read that. I would like to read that. Look at
So
me
if
like,
somebody
I would
book
like
that is, can you put it in the chat?
yeah, I would like that. What else do I wanted to get go over?
What else
Um,
are you reading? You said you're gonna. The next book is gonna be A Blossom, and what's after that?
After that, Oh, I'll probably read the 19th hole. Like I don't take a so for let me tell you how I have reading, things. So I can read a novel that's like a romance or urban romance fairly quickly. Like it won't take me long at all. So like if I say I'm gonna read how many pages is A Blossom book? Let me tell you something.
Let me tell
200,
me
272 pages.
you can do that in 2 days.
I could knock that out being realistic on a good Sunday.
Yeah.
For real.
No, I know you can. No, I know.
Yeah.
No,
So I'm like, but I give myself at least 3 nights. 3 nights or whatever. But she said, is that book by Lady Nisha? I think she's talking about the book that she's talking about the girl who
no,
has okay,
no.
she said.
I'm gonna
Um
find. I'm gonna find it. Let me go find it. I had the same
so
thing.
yeah, that's my reading thing. But my book goals actually is to read more like different genres. I really enjoy historical fiction. However, I enjoy historical fiction that takes place like during the Harlem Renaissance. During like I don't like to go back too far. Like the 60s, I'm cool. Like if you give me Antebellum South, I don't know. It depends on who wrote it. I do like to stay around like the 60s, maybe the 50s, them 20s.
The book I'm talking about is by Alicia J, and it's called Invisible Bars.
Invisible Bar.
Naji Ali is a former model living with Tourette syndrome, a sharp tongue, and a heart stitched together with abandonment, betrayal, and survival. Like, do that not just, girl?
Yeah, it do
What?
sound good. I might read that one. That might be the next one too, because I'm like, I need to have like at least 5 good
So,
books.
I have 5 books that people should start their 2025 with, based off of. I'm at 2026 with, based off of what I like.
Okay, go off, tell it.
Wait, hold on. I'm texting you this book, so we won't lose it again. I apologize, Alicia. You're new to me, author, but I have been seeing this book, and I am going to read it. Because I think that sounds really interesting and very
And the
inclusive.
cover is nice too. Like I just pulled it up. I like the
Oh yeah.
cover.
So, based off my reading likes, if you like the kind of books I like to read, here are 5 books to start 2026 with. If you have not read it yet, please go read Last Man on Earth by Shay Saunders. I will not shut up about that book, okay?
Yeah, that book has 50-50. I don't want to talk about it, but it's been like a 50-50 thing too. Like some people really like it. Some people you don't be on Threads and TikTok and stuff.
I do be on Threads and TikTok. I just don't want my algorithm.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. What's the next book? So just tell me the next book. Next book.
The 19th Hole by Evelyn Latrice.
Okay. That's after what you call. I'm gonna read that. I might read it like really soon.
Say So by BB Reed.
Okay.
If
BB
you do
Reed.
not,
Woof.
yeah,
Yeah.
baby.
No joke.
The last time we went Brian BB Reed, she took us through that.
Yeah. BB Reed is
Okay.
no joke.
And this one is 1, arranged marriage. 2, it's a throuple. 3, it's mafia. It's a lot. It's a lot going on in the mix. It excites me. I get so excited. The Winning Play by Lauren Lacey. We interviewed her. This is the second book in the series that we interviewed her for last year.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a basketball. If you're looking for a sports romance, this is a basketball romance. The first one was a football romance with a bit of a mystery and a twist to it. So this is a series. This is the second book in the series.
Okay.
And then Tempting Chaos by Casey Mills. I feel like Casey Mills is one of those good authors that you can she's a veteran author.
It
So
always always depend on like if you want to read a good story, go right there.
About a rapper and a singer. So this is it's not her. Casey has been doing a lot of mafia and a lot darker themes. This is not that. This is about a rapper and a singer, and it came off the front page swinging. I feel like my heart broke for the main male character immediately.
Okay. So I got the books, right? I'll probably make a whole post about this, like an actual editorial post.
And I have the books I'm looking forward to, like I'm waiting for this year. I kind of want to shout them out so I can put fire to ass for some of these authors.
Okay.
Oh, I can go? I can keep going?
Yeah.
Goal 2, Serafina, where are you? Where are you? Hello. Come on now.
The next one. Don't go too hard on them.
Love, Truth, and the Tabloids. I don't think a lot of people have read this series. In the it's really upsetting me. And my she's like, oh, because I jumped in this author's DMs. I'm good for that. She was like, a lot of people hasn't really taken. So I need y'all to go read book 1 and 2 so she can finish book 3 for me. Thank you.
Who's it by?
Why can't I think of her name? Hold on. I will tell you. I will tell you. Let me pull open my Kindle because I really need book 3 of that. Okay. Um, Dang, we interviewed her before. My brain is just Teresa
Oh,
L. Tough. Teresa L. Tough.
okay.
Love, Truth in the Tabloids is what it's called. I'm messing up the name and everything. Love,
Okay.
Truth in the Tabloids. It's 2 books out. I'm waiting for book 3. I was like, excuse me, hello, can I get book 3? Um, Problematic 2. Nisha knew she was wrong. Giving us a 700-page, like her and Serafina. Why would y'all give us 700-page books and leave it on cliffhangers? Are y'all okay?
We are going to compile the list. Lisa's going to it's going to be on our editorial site. So like when you go on our website, we're going to like actually make a list because there's no way y'all going to remember this. I wouldn't remember this. I'm going to give you my list and her list and just be like, okay,
Oh,
this
sorry, y'all. Asia Monique, follow up to Echo of Forever. Again, it's like I thought this was just an independent spinoff. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Like, I really need explanations. Jay Olivia, follow up to Melody Monroe Has Arrived.
Oh, yeah.
Needs that. The Savage Season by Tara Ellis. We need that little brother. He was annoying as hell in Savage Season 1, but we need this arranged marriage trope immediately. Let's go. Tay Monet, The Bloodline Book 3. Don't know what it's going to be called. This is her dark romance series that she's working on. We need book 3. We need the 4th book to the Cookie series by Bella J. We waited a long time for the Cookies on Top. We don't want to wait that long again. Sorry, I'm not trying to pressure you, but we need the next one. Come on, sister.
I'll be good cop. Well, everybody that's an author, take your time. I'm very understanding, honestly.
I want y'all to take your time, but I don't. But some of these books, I really want to know
what happened.
Yeah, what happened? I really need to know. Like, I desperately need to know what happened. Like, I just need to know. My curious brain is just sitting right there. Like, I still got some of these storylines fresh in my brain, so I need to know what happened.
Somebody said, "What about love?" Not somebody, Miss Dunn. What about love? What about With Love from Harlem? Oh yeah. I actually have that book. I have it on. That's bad. Yeah, it's called With Love from Harlem by Rashonda Tate. And I'm gonna read it.
Is that historical fiction?
Historical fiction. It takes place during the Harlem Renaissance. I probably read it while I'm on a streak because the thing is, I'll go on a historical fiction streak, and then I'll just stop. It's like it's like, yeah, that was good, and I'll go back to like Black romance, and I love memoirs, so I'm looking forward to Brandy's memoir coming out in March. I'm also reading. I have it in my what's the lady name from 227? Her memoir is it's either out.
From 22, what's 227?
227, the show. My mama used to watch it.
I ain't never.
Marla Gibbs. Marla Gibbs has a memoir.
Oh, I know who that is.
Yeah, she's the she was I want to say was she like the landlord in the show? Anyway, she has a book. I love memoir, so that's one thing you need to know about me. I love a good memoir. So I was
Allen Iverson's memoir.
Allen Iverson's memoir, yeah. And then
I read the first one when I was a kid. Not a kid. I was still in high school when the first one came out. So I would love to read the follow-up. You know who had a really good memoir?
Who?
DMX. It was so sad.
Oh yeah, DMX. I mean,
so
like one of my rappers. Like that's a heart right there. But yeah, I'm looking forward to more memoir reading. And then also, I think the last thing we can talk about really quickly, because we've been on for like an hour. I don't know what like bookish stuff. I don't want to go too far left because I can see it. Child, I can see
it. So I'm gonna say some stuff because y'all can't jump me. What I would like to see happen in the bookish community this year is for people to form their own opinions and stop group thinking. And I also would like for people to be more open to other people's opinions. And I say this because I commented on somebody's post the other day. They were talking about a very popular series. I really like this author. I do not like the series. I like the author, don't like the series. It's not my cup of tea, and I think that's fine.
Yeah.
I talk about it. I don't down it. I just don't say anything about it. But this whole ideology of if you don't like something popular, you have to be a hater. We got to leave that alone, baby. We got to leave that alone. We are allowed not to like stuff.
I think it's so limiting because like that's when you get the echo chamber. Like I just said, I read, like I literally just told people like I'm not sure yet if I would recommend a certain book, not because I don't think the writing is good, it's just because I don't know if I like it yet. I gotta get, like, let me finish it. But I would not just tell people who love the book, or just all of a sudden if it blew up, be like, "Oh yeah, y'all crazy. I don't know what real writing is, or you don't know how to be a good reviewer or an influencer." It's like that's the whole point. You have a point of view, and people like your point of view about whatever it is. They go read it, and then they like it. So then they're like, "Okay, I can read more books recommended by her."
Right.
However, you can get a book that somebody recommends to you and you simply don't like it. It doesn't mean that y'all need to be kicked off the face of the earth, but I think it's limiting like the conversations about books. We hear about the same few authors a lot, and it's just kind of like, how much are you influencing if you're not discovering, right? You can't. It's certain authors that um we've made them really popular, and I think that's phenomenal. But it's like that's what happened. You start putting pressure on these authors to produce more because you're not willing to open up like your bookshelf. Like allow them to go. Like they have to actually write the 350 page or the 400. They got to go write that book. So until they finish writing,
Go read something else.
read something else. Go
Go read
open
something
that
else.
palette, go read
I
something
see it.
else.
I see a new
Find
release
new
today. It
genre,
gotta be
find new
something else I
author.
like.
Yeah, because that's and my thing is that's what offsets this balance, because now you're pressuring the author who's technically writing at pace for them. And now they feel pressure to kind of produce because there's so many people not willing to read anything else until this one author drops another novel.
If I was like that, I would be waiting forever because everybody knows Sakura album will disappear for 5 years. Okay, I love Sakura down. Everybody know I will go to bat for my girl, but
But to
Sakura
me, that's how it becomes this whole like as soon
will
as an author
disappear.
goes online, they're jumping them for a book. And it's like, yo, we gotta allow yourself to open up that reading palette, to get to find some
And
new authors.
if I did start a page, which I'm leaning more towards starting a page. Well, I started a page. I just don't post on it because I like like I said, my best friend, my sister, everybody's like, you need to. You've been doing this. First of all, you've been doing this with the book club for over like a decade now.
Hmm.
And then on your own, you read so much new stuff that in a genre that people like that you could put. Like I said, like I've read last year, I read like 4 or 5 debut novels.
Hmm.
I don't see those books being promoted nowhere but by the author. I love debut. Like if I could just read it, like I would do it. Like I love them. Um, but my point is one of the things I would highlight is some of these authors that are being missed in the chaos that I think
Hmm.
people would like reading based off of what they already are reading. Not
Yeah.
just like not just pulling it from anywhere, but it's like if you really like this, whether it's the topic, the writing style, the genre, you would probably also like this as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I think one thing that I want to see this year, I think I really, and I genuinely mean this from my heart, is for everybody to relax. Like, just relax. The world is really, really tough right now. And I'm not trying to breed a whole kumbaya moment, but like people are having tough times, whether it's financially, emotionally, dealing with the government, just all types of stuff. It's like y'all be going at each other's throats.
And this is supposed to be
Up.
fun.
It's supposed to be fun. Like this is supposed to be the place where we're supposed to be able to let our shoulders, you know, let our shoulders down, let our hair hang down, and talk about the topics that are in books. Talk about our favorite characters and go back and forth. We gotta relax, like relax, and I mean that because it's getting to a point where authors don't want to like come online to promote. You got readers who don't want to like start a page because they're like, I don't even want to be involved in this type of back and forth. Then you
Me.
have, yeah, then you have the onlookers who are just like, well, what the hell is going on? Like, what's actually happening? Like, they're trying to grasp what's happening because things happen so fast or too slow. Like, we let things linger too long. I'll leave threads and come back, and I'm like, y'all still talking about this? We're still on this. And I just feel like we are mostly Black women in this space. And I think we need to one, just kind of relax, let people have an opinion, read. Like we're supposed to be reading. It feels like we're doing less reading. Like we need to
That's why
read.
I was so proud of us. I showed my aunt. She is from St. Louis. The
Mhm.
video from behind the pen, and she was like, "That is amazing." I was like,
Yeah, when you see stuff like when you see these events, it's like they're coming out to see black authors and to buy books, and like that doesn't get highlighted anywhere. So you're part of a community that's doing something that literally everybody's saying is not happening.
yeah, that's why I brought that up. Is because we had such a positive. We had some little mishaps and missteps, of course, because we are learning. We're learning. But for the majority of the time, we had like such positive energy,
Yeah.
and we got such good feedback because I was at the table even while people were leaving, and they were
Mhm.
just saying like, "Oh, it was just so nice, like the energy in the room, being
Mhm.
able to talk, like people were making friends in lines. Yes, most
Mhm.
of the lines were long. That was not our fault, but we are trying." Um, the people made friends in the lines because if you're in line for this author and I'm in line for this author, we must like this author. So people started chatting, exchanging information, making friends, and now you have this person that you could talk to about this author or this series or this book. And I like that you we don't see that, and online we don't always see that. So it's like we need to highlight that more.
Yeah, and I think I truly believe that because even when you go into these events and you see people, it'll be like if you took what the chaos is online and you put it up to what happens in reality when you go to book events,
It's
it's
not
so
real.
opposite. So it's like I
Yeah,
don't want people to feel deterred about going to a book event because they feel like that's the representation that's going to be in the physical form, and
and
it's
let's
like
be
it's
clear.
not.
Don't
It's
break.
so
Don't.
not.
That does not mean bring the chaos to the book events. That's
Yeah,
not what.
but I'm just saying, what I'm trying to say is not reflective. And I think if I didn't know anything and I jumped in there, because sometimes if you say the wrong thing on threads or TikTok, they won't give you no type of grace. It'll be like you should have been knew this, yada. And it's like, girl, I just got here 5 seconds ago, right? And so if you don't know that, you might think that okay, if I go to this event, this will be the same type of energy, and it's not. The
Yeah.
energy of these events are really uplifting. It's fun. It's positive. It makes you feel proud to be like a black woman reader, black just to see the arts like this. And it's so many people and it's so many different events. It's not like, oh, it's just one or two. It's so many events that get these turnouts. And it's so many positive stories that we have. When people go, they be like, I went to this event by myself. Like you said, made friends, purchased new authors, books, and just was able to explore a new city. Like they're able to like create a new memory. And so I'm just like, we gotta focus more in on that. Like, yeah, we could if it's war being brought to our door from like outsiders trying to like come in and tear us down, yeah, you have the right to defend yourself. But like when it comes from within, it's like, yeah, we could correct, but we need to do it in a way that people don't feel disrespected and devalued and just feel like, you're not even taking the time out to humanize them. I
What does
think that
what does the
need
chat say?
huh?
Is anybody talking in the chat?
Oh, the chat, no, they kinda calm right now. They calm because they
What would
they
you what would you guys like to see in the bookish landscape?
like maybe 4 minutes because I got to dip, but 4 minutes, what would you like to see? So, yeah, I want people to calm down and get back to the fun, and I think that's one thing that I'm really focused on with events is, like,
What's
making
the
virtual and
function? What's the
yeah,
function?
making it fun and making it back cool. So, like, in February, we have what do we have coming up in February? We have our,
Oh,
virtual pajama party.
party.
A virtual pajama party featuring the author. So you'll be able to come do that. And it's all virtual. It's on Valentine's Day. So it's for the girlies for Valentine's Day because Valentine's Day is on a Friday this year.
Yes, it is.
Then I'm trying to get another trip back to the Schomburg to look at some authors because you can see their primary work.
And I have a new author that I'm interviewing. Am I allowed to say who it is since we locked it in?
Yeah, I mean next week is February. Am I bugging?
So I have a new author I'm interviewing February 22nd at 7 p.m. live right here. So come back. Her name is Brittany July.
Mm-hmm.
I found her books on TikTok. The TikTok algorithm be giving me some good recommendations. And her books, I hope y'all start reading them now because it's two books.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I, Sweetest Devotion and hold on. Her name is Brittany July.
Mm-hmm.
And her books. Why would Amazon play in my face like this? Are The Sweetest Devotion and The Darkest Redemption.
Okay.
I will
And those
tell
are
you.
going to be our February books. So that's our February book series of the
So that's
month.
yes, our February book. I was gonna do one, but once you read the first one, you're gonna want to read the second one. But I will tell you this, and I'm gonna clip this and post this. If you do not like large age gap romances, the second one, go ahead and skip that because it is a large age gap romance. And at first I was like, it's a little bit. I like it was a little bit like, but once I read it, I was like, you know what?
All right. So Shay said, it's Shay Shay. She said more sisterhood and support, less stressful book events. Well, I'll put it up. More sisterhood and support, less stressful book events, more support and promotion for newest art. I'm assuming she's saying new authors.
Okay. Shay, are you an author?
And she also said, this year she challenged herself to read more new to her authors.
In genres. Yeah, I'm gonna challenge myself to read some new genres because I am a urban dark. Those are like my top two genres. Like, and I like my dark. I'll be concerned. I'll be concerned about how dark I like my dark. Y'all's dark don't be dark enough for me, but it's okay. My dark is. I love dark and I love tab. I'm actually gonna do I'm going to do a video about this.
A taboo reading list.
A taboo reading list because after some of the stuff that y'all saying is taboo is like this taboo, and the stuff that I've read is like.
You think that BB Reed is taboo, or just is it like?
So first of all, I don't know because the only book I've read by BB Reed is In the Gray.
In the Gray, yeah.
And baby,
I wouldn't say she's taboo. Oh, you know who may be taboo? I can't think of her name. Oh my gosh, it's gonna bother me so bad.
Text it to me.
Is it? Do you think poly relationships are taboo? Like poly?
So yes, I think that would fall under taboo romance, but that's why I said that's that kind of taboo. It's not that taboo.
Mm.
You found out about us at behind. Oh wait, did you come to Behind the Pen?
Yeah, I think because she's not an author. She said she was an author.
Oh, she came to Behind the Pen. Hey girl, that mean we met because I checked in everybody at Behind the Pen. Here. Me and my mama and Lex.
Yeah. Shout out to Lex.
Shout out to Lex. Poly relationships, I would say, are taboo. Mm-hmm. Yes, because taboo is not standard society norms.
Okay.
So that's what taboo means. But that is on the lighter side of taboo. When I say lighter, I mean taboo goes from really light to dark. When I read stuff, it was this author who did taboo. I remember I texted you, Alexa, and I DM'd the author, and she never gave me. She takes it all the way. So if you couldn't read BB Reed In the Gray, not because you didn't like her writing style, but because you didn't like the context of the book, this author, you wouldn't be able to stomach her books because she takes it all the way there. All like the first book I read from her, it was about first cousins.
Oh wow. Yeah. That's taboo. That's pretty taboo.
It wasn't like first cousins that didn't know they was first cousins. Like they found
out they knew they were first cousins.
Oh baby, they knew they was first cousins. And they tried I was like I closed the book and I was like, I'm not okay. And
let's keep pausing that because we'll I feel like we'll have a conversation about that.
So yeah, and what I will do is I will put together some of my favorite taboo romances.
Yeah, like we do taboo.
Like, baby, don't read. Like, please don't come for me, and please don't read this if you got a weak stomach. If you're like, that was so nasty, baby. This is what I will say. Nobody, if you watch the Game of Thrones, do not talk about taboo romance. If you watch Game of Thrones, you didn't throw a fit. Jamie and whatchamacallit were twins.
Yeah, they were taboo all the way.
They were they weren't just brother and sister babes. They were twins. They had 3 children.
All right. So, like I said, put a pin in that because you're about to go on a whole nother tangent.
No. I just don't like when people when they I've had conversations with people who watch Game of Thrones and told me to watch Game of Thrones, and were
Mhm.
like could bypass that. But when I would talk about stuff like that I've read, they would be like, "Oh my god, Dave, you watch Game of Thrones?
Yeah,
You're
that's what.
right."
Yeah,
And I think
and
he wrote it in a way that people forget that they're twins.
I think that's what it was too, because I remember they were twins. It was something that I remember because my mom was watching. She put me on the Game of Thrones, really, and I was watching. I said, "What the heck?" Like I remember, I was like, "What?" Like you can't, because things, certain things I can't forget. And I was like, "Wait, not only are they siblings, they're twins. Like
Mhm.
why did nobody else lead?" Like I knew about Game of Thrones because it was so popular, but I'm like, that's a big thing that nobody ever mentions.
Nobody leads with it.
Like
Nobody.
nobody knew with that part, and I'm like, to me, that was a part that I
And
couldn't like turn
that's,
off my brain.
and that's why I always bring it up when I talk about taboo romances. When I talk about the first cousin thing,
Mhm.
because if you watch Game of Thrones, please don't talk to me about it. Shay, you attended solo. Wait, last question. Did you make any new friends?
Yeah, us. Look.
Uh, Thank you so much for coming. We're so glad to have you. Hopefully, we'll see you at the next one. We don't know when that is yet. Don't ask.
I also want, this is the last thing I say. I want more people to be involved with the book club because I feel like people want to be involved, but they don't know which ways they could be involved. So I'll say it like this and we can end it here.
Okay.
We have an editorial site. So we have www.sistergirlsbookclub.com. You can add, like, if you want to be a part of the writing team where you like write your listicles, what books you want to read for this month, yada, yada, yada. We have a Facebook group that's private where we discuss books. We have a podcast. I run that portion where I interview authors. And Lisa Marie, for the monthly book selection, she chooses all those books because clearly, as you can see from this conversation, she reads not only quickly, she reads a lot. Um, what else do we have? We have our, obviously, our behind the pen book in-person book event. So if you are
We have
interested,
all other social media too. We have Instagram. We have
yeah,
Threads. We have
yeah,
X.
we
We have
have
all social media.
all social media. So my thing is, if you want to like be involved, and we have a newsletter that we put out. So if you want to be
Too.
involved, for yeah, we have a monthly newsletter and a newsletter that we do.
Then we have the book, all nothing but books newsletter.
Mhm. So it's like, so please, if you want to like participate, or even if you feel like you have an event that you want to do that's virtual, we love collaborating with people. We like interviewing new authors, especially for like the book of the month. We're looking for new authors to feature. The thing about that is we have to actually we read the book. So just you saying I have a book, we actually need to read it. So that's the whole the catch 22 of that. Um, and then based on if we like the book, then we'll make it the book of the month. That's really how it goes. We don't just
I'm gonna do a small video to go into how I pick the book of the month too. I'm gonna do a video for our Instagram because people
yeah.
do like, can I be book of the month? And it's not that I'm telling you no, but I don't just pick it based off of this is what I like. I pick it with things behind it. So I'm gonna do a video for the Instagrams.
All right. So yeah, so just follow us everywhere. We're Sister Girls Book Club everywhere. Everywhere. So please, and reach out to us. All right. This has been great. We should do this probably like in a month and a half from now. I'll have read a lot by then.
You know what? I think we
A
should.
month and a half. That's a month and a half worth of books.
Oh, that's like March.
Yeah, that's not bad. Or April, maybe.
Okay, let's do it.
A quarterly chat. Because you'll be back
That's
here
what
at the end of the month.
I'll be back in February and March. I already got our March.
Yeah.
So
But I'm
maybe
saying you'll be back more than I'll be back live with somebody. You'll be back with an author, but we should do like a quarterly, like a
let's do
spring.
let's do
Yeah.
it. I'm
Hopefully
down.
y'all enjoyed this. Shay says she enjoyed it. My girl, she
Thank
enjoyed it.
you.
So we're gonna say goodnight. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this, or you'll watch the recap or the rerun or whatever it is. But like I said, please interact with us because we want to have our word for this year is community with the book club. So want to bring back fun, community, and just reading the books. That's it.
That's it.
Bye.
And bye. Everybody stay safe, stay warm.
Yes.